You Love Your Mom and her 2-hit target multi-attacks is everything you could want in a series. An onesan, a tsundere, a lolly, an office lady, a mom, and a generic loser self-insert to put yourself into. It poses the philosophical question of the millennia, one that has been passed down from the greatest minds of humanity without an answer in sight. To lewd or not to lewd, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind, I'm just kidding, this anime is trash, guys. Whenever I watch an anime, I try to see it as a medium for some deeper life lesson or social commentary, and then boobies, and it's like something primal awakens in me. I only made a Twitter account just to have an appreciation for good art, and man, there's a lot. But over time, I've grown a bit jaded to fan service in anime as a whole. After getting spat on in Kakagururi, looked down on, and I want you to show me your panties with a disgusted face, geez, this isn't a light novel title, and going through a spiritual awakening in Miru tights, you get used to the culture. When you have such specialized art out there and you come back to ecchi anime, the Unga Bunga spark isn't as strong. Originally, I watched Do You Love Your Mom because the opening is a bit of a banger. The story follows a teenager named Masato, who is transported to a fantasy world with his overbearing mother, Mamako. In this MMMMMORPG, or Mother's Massively Maternal Multiplayer Makeup with Offspring role-playing game, Mamako is an overprotective swordswoman whose constant overprotectiveness drives Masato crazy. Together, they embark on a journey to improve their mother-child relationship to clear the game and return home. Along the way, they meet Porta, a merchant lolly, Wiz, a fiery sage tsundere, and Medi, a yandere mage. Now, I don't think this show is good. I think it's pretty awful, terrible in fact. There's nothing really remarkable about this show story-wise, and the fanservice gets pretty old pretty much after the first episode. Anime tries to push the boundaries of what constitutes as safe for work, but when your plot and characters are generic archetypes, what's stopping you from going from one pirating site to another? And here's the thing, MILF characters are not bad. Yor, Lisa, Yuiga Hamamama, great motherly figures. Fantastic, I might even say. But there's a difference between liking the archetype and then there's liking your actual mom. One is a childhood diff, and the other is, well, a childhood diff.
I want mommy, I want milk, I want to be held, I want to be comforted.
Now it's not explicit, but the situations that Masato get into with Mamako are weird. Not making any claims, but I'm just saying it's a bit sus. There may be a beach episode, but just be glad there's no laundromat episode. I won't lie though, this show made me tear up. Maybe there's something about trash shows that hit me in the deepest part of my soul. I don't consider myself to be an emotional person, but it was really touching to see how much Mamako loves her son. There's a stark contrast between how Mamako treats her son and views parenting and how the other moms in the show treat their children. Wiz's mom is selfish and hedonistic. She forced Wiz to enter the game and abandoned her after she realized she could use her magic to establish a new life with money and men. She sees Wiz, her own daughter, as a burden in her life. Medi's mom is controlling and egotistical. She claims to be the best parent in the world and pushes Medi to be the top student in her class. Despite putting up with her mother's demands, Medi is shown to be frustrated in private and keeps her emotions bottled up. Wiz's case is being an unwanted child. Medi's case is being a child that is wanted, but her bragging rights. Masato's case is being a child that is also wanted, but too much. Now, the beauty of isekai is the ability to self-insert. There's probably some of Masato that we can see in ourselves. Wanting to be independent, wanting to have our own adventures, wanting to prove that we can accomplish great things without having to be cared for and worrying anyone. Maybe there's parts of Wiz and Medi that you can see in your own life, but Masato makes me think about my own mom. How much she struggled, how much she cares for me, how hard she worked to give me the life I have today. To express my gratitude, I just work as hard as I can, trying my best to make the most of what I've been given. But this show goes against that idea. Mamako doesn't need her son to change or be different. She loves him just the way he is. Yes, he has his flaws, his outbursts, his teenage angst, but in the end, he's still her son. There are families that will love each other regardless of what happens because they're family. Some families don't have that luxury, but Masato and I are some of the lucky ones to have a mom that loves them unconditionally. We do see how Mamako wants to spoil Masato, but he's at an age where he wants independence, both in the real world and in the game world. He wants to grow up and have his own adventure, and Mamako can't help but still think he's a kid. Mamako tries to hold on to the past while Masato looks towards the future. Despite this, you can tell that they still love each other. Change is a natural part of life after all, and we need to learn and adapt as we grow and mature. As I've gotten older and spent time away from home, I've been able to appreciate all the small and big things that my mom has done to make sure that I can do the things I wanted to. I could study, practice instruments, and play video games instead of wondering when my next meal would be, or if I would have clean clothes to wear the next day. And so, I'll leave you all with this piece of wisdom. The only love you should ever feel towards your mom is the familial kind. Because as the wise Confucius once said, don't be dumb and lewd the mom. The on-tag is way better anyway. Again, I don't think the show is good. If you want a trashy show to enjoy, then maybe it's worth watching, but I wouldn't waste my time with it. The light novel art is always nice to look at though because it's done by Pochi-sensei. She makes great doujins as well. I highly recommend her Rent a Girlfriend series because there's more plot progression there than in the manga. Like a lot of isekai, this probably won't get a second season, which reflects more to the modern state of isekai not ever finishing, which is unfortunate since there are series with these grand tasks of defeating the Demon King and restoring world peace just never coming to fruition. But the light novel is finished, so in case you're the mad lad that actually wants to see this story end, that's out there for you. Anyway, that's all I have, so to wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for watching, and until we meet again, take care everyone.